Most people are already dead. They are breathing. Their heart is beating. They go to work, scroll their phones, eat their meals, watch their shows. But they are not truly alive. This is not a metaphor. This is not a provocation. This is exactly what the Roman philosopher Seneca wrote nearly 2,000 years ago. And it may be the most uncomfortable truth you will ever hear. Today you will discover what he meant through the story of one man who heard this truth at exactly the right moment and exactly the wrong one. Subscribe and drop in the comments. What is the one thing you keep telling yourself you will do later? I read everyone. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Man Who Was Waiting. This is Isamu. Isamu is 41 years old, creative director at an advertising firm in Tokyo, married, 2 children, 9 and 12, a man who, by every external measure, has built a successful life. But Isamu has a private habit nobody at his firm knows about. Every Friday evening, he opens a small notebook, not a work notebook, a personal one. Inside, in the same handwriting he's used for 11 years, is a list, the same list added to every few months. Things I will do when things calm down. Climb Mount Fuji with his son. Write the short stories he started in university. Take his wife to Kyoto for their anniversary, the way he promised before the promotion, before the project, before the next thing that always arrived first. The list has 43 items. He has completed none of them. At 41, Isamu does not feel old. But on Friday evenings, opening that notebook, he feels something he cannot name. A sound at the edge of his hearing that is not quite alarm, but is moving toward it. Then one evening, his father, 73, recently retired, handed him a thin paperback, On the Shortness of Life by Seneca. I should have given you this 20 years ago, his father said. Read it before Friday. Isamu read it in one sitting. Chapter 2. Seneca's diagnosis. Seneca was born around 4 BC, advisor to Emperor Nero, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, exiled for 8 years, watched friends executed, lived under one of history's most unstable rulers. And through all of it, he wrote letters and essays that cut straight to the heart of what it means to be human, living under the shadow of death. His most famous work opens with a line that lands like a fist. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it. Life is not short, Seneca says. We just live as though it is infinite, and in doing so, we never truly live at all. He identified 3 types of people who waste their lives. The busy person, always working, always planning, always in motion. Mistaking busyness for living, always preparing to live, never actually living. The pleasure seeker, running from discomfort into entertainment and distraction. Not lazy, afraid of silence, afraid of the questions that arise when there is nothing left to consume. And the postponer, the most dangerous type, the one Isamu recognized immediately, sitting alone at midnight with a paperback and a notebook containing 43 unfulfilled intentions. The postponer lives in the future. They will rest when they retire. They will travel when the kids are grown. They believe they have unlimited time ahead, and so they spend today as though it does not count. While we are postponing, life speeds by. Isamu read that sentence. Then he opened his Friday notebook, and for the first time in 11 years, he did not add to the list. He sat with it, just sat with it. Chapter 3. The first practice. This day is your life. Seneca's most practical instruction was to treat each day as a complete life in itself, not a stepping stone, not a preparation, the thing itself. He wrote to his friend Lucilius, gather and save the time which till lately was being stolen from you, or was slipping away, or was being wasted. Isamu began one practice the morning after reading, before opening his phone, before checking email. One question, written at the top of a new page in that Friday notebook. If today were the only day I had, what would I protect? Not what would I accomplish. What would I protect? The first morning his answer surprised him. Not a project, not a career milestone. His son's football match that Saturday, which he had already told himself he might have to miss because of a client presentation. He rescheduled the presentation. He attended the match. His son scored twice. Turned around looking for his father. Found him in the crowd. Isamu understood something Seneca had tried to say across 2,000 years. Your attention is your life. Where it goes, your life goes. And right now, right in this moment, you are choosing where it goes. Chapter 4, the second practice, live now. Seneca's second teaching was the most direct. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. Most people live everywhere except now. They replay the past or rehearse the future. The present moment, the only moment they actually occupy, passes unnoticed. Isamu tested this at dinner that week. No phone on the table, no work thoughts allowed a second visit. His wife was talking about a documentary she had watched. Normally he would have been half listening, planning tomorrow's meeting behind his eyes. This time he listened, completely, asked questions, laughed, remembered what it felt like to be inside a conversation rather than passing through one. His wife said afterwards, "You were different tonight." He had not traveled anywhere, changed nothing around him. He had simply arrived in the place he was already standing. That is what Seneca means by living immediately. Not more experience, more presence, not more time, more depth. Chapter 5, the third practice, remember death. Seneca's most confronting teaching. To live fully, you must think about death regularly, not with fear, with clarity. Let us prepare our minds as if we had come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. When you remember that your time is genuinely limited, not as a concept, but as a felt reality, your choices sharpen. The trivial falls away. What remains is what matters. Isamu began a small practice. Each Sunday morning, before anything else, one question. If I learned today that I had 1 year left, what would I stop doing? What would I finally begin? The stopping list was long. The beginning list was short. Short and specific and familiar, because it was the same list as the 43 items in the Friday notebook. He did not feel fear doing this exercise. He felt for the first time a strange and clarifying freedom. When death stops being theoretical, the irrelevant becomes immediately obvious, and the essential becomes urgent. Chapter 6, the transformation. That summer, Isamu and his son climbed Mount Fuji. It took them 9 hours. His son complained for the first 3 and was silent with awe for the last 2. At the summit, in the cold, in the cloud, in the impossible light, his son turned to him and said nothing. Just looked at him with an expression Isamu had never seen before. And Isamu thought, I almost didn't come. I almost rescheduled this too. Pushed it to next year, the year after, until next year became never and never became the rest of his life. He thought of Seneca's words. Most people are already dead. He thought of the 43 items in the notebook. He opened his phone at the summit. Not to check email, he photographed his son's face in the summit light. Then he opened the notebook app and crossed off item number 1. When they descended, his son asked, "Can we do Hokkaido next year?" "Book it when we get home," Isamu said. "Tonight." That is what it means to be truly alive. Not the mountain, the decision that got them there. The refusal to postpone one more time. Closing here is Seneca's complete teaching. 3 practices. Start today. First, treat today as a complete life. Before your phone, ask yourself one question. If today were the only day I had, what would I protect? Then protect it. Second, live immediately. The next conversation you have, be entirely in it. The next meal, the next walk. Stop passing through your own life and start inhabiting it. Third, remember death once a week. One question. If I had 1 year left, what would I stop? What would I finally begin? Write both answers. Take one action from the beginning list. This week, not next month. Seneca himself died calmly, not because his circumstances were peaceful, because he had already used his time. Your life is happening right now. The list you carry, the things you keep telling yourself you will do when things calm down, those things are your life, not the preparation for your life, your life. Begin at once. Count each separate day as a separate life. See you in the next one.